You're listening to Brain Lenses, a show about how we perceive the world, ourselves, and each other. I'm Colin Wright. In mid-April of 2024, a group of researchers published a declaration signed by dozens of prominent and expertise-relevant biologists and philosophers that says there's a realistic possibility that all vertebrates, and many invertebrates, are conscious. This statement, called the New York Declaration on Animal Consciousness, which follows and expounds upon the 2012 Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness, was unveiled at a conference dedicated to this subject. And the claim is that phenomenal consciousness, which is the most basic kind, according to modern theory on the matter, which basically says that it is like something to be a particular creature, might be found all over the place. The idea of subjective experience being a hallmark of consciousness is not universally accepted, but it's increasingly popular with folks who work and do research within the realm of consciousness biology and philosophy, and the implications of this claim could be huge if true. Consider what this would mean for the domestication and slaughter of such animals, as pets and for food, for instance, or what it might mean for our development of increasingly conscious-seeming artificial intelligence systems. Research has shown that octopuses feel and respond negatively to pain, that zebrafish seem curious, that bees are playful, and that some types of fish pass the mirror test, attempting to clean themselves off when, looking in a mirror, they notice marks placed by researchers on their bodies, which suggests they recognize themselves in the reflection, which in turn suggests they have a conscious awareness that makes such recognition possible. None of which is definitively proven, as there are other possible reflexive and zombie-like explanations for all of these and other oft-cited examples that seem to indicate at least a modicum of consciousness in non-human animals. The concept of consciousness in humans, too, is far from a universally agreed-upon thing, which makes this conversation even more fraught. But these sorts of declarations are not made casually, as getting over one's skis in the research world can make attaining future funding and growing one's career difficult if one bets one's reputation on something that ends up being bunk. So this is not an indication that animal consciousness is definitive, but it does suggest that the amalgamation of recent research, which these signatories cite as their rationale for publishing this declaration, implies that many animals we previously considered to be mindless automatons might actually be conscious in a way that we would recognize, and that we may someday need to cope with this realization, legally, socially, and psychologically. You can find out more about Brain Lenses, including how to support this show, and in return receive an additional episode of the show each week at brainlenses.com. You can also support this and all of my projects at understandery.com. I'm Colin Wright, and I'll talk to you again next week.